Can't even hear it. You're good. Oh, and you're live.
Hello, everybody. I'm live. Oh, I'm so happy to be with you today. Today is going to be a grand and glorious day. And I'm telling you, it is beautiful outside. I'm looking out. I'm looking at the beautiful tree across the street, looking at the sky. The sun is out. We're going to have a blessed day wherever you're at in the world, regardless of the weather conditions. We are going to have a wonderful day. We're going to regulate the day in the name of love. Let's do that in the name of love. So, we're going to start off with one of my favorite artists. His name is John Stringer, and the song is You're Welcome Here. I want you to dance. I want you to open your heart. I want you to go out there and pick up the phone or reach out to somebody and say, come and join, because Reverend Jerry has something powerful to share with you today. The whole team, as a matter of fact. Take it away, Amber.
There is a space in my heart where I find the truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. I see with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah, when we unite.
Wow, wow, wow. You are definitely welcome here, and we're so grateful that you're with us this morning. This morning is an extraordinary morning. This month is a very important month, and this month is a month where we get to remember what is tried and true and what is the answer to all the things that concern us in life. We're talking about love. And we're talking about a deeper love. So today is going to be an important day. The most important part is discovering, knowing, and remembering that we were made for loving, to be a loving presence in the world. So we're going to bring forth our wonderful team today. We're going to bring forth Reverend Larry Hobby, who's going to offer a special reading. And then we're going to bring forth practitioner Sandy, who is going to pray us up as we continue to move on this life journey. Let's bring Reverend Larry forward right now.
Good morning, everyone. Or top of the morning to you, as we always say back in the day. But anyway, my reading today is from Howard Thurman, More Loving in My Heart. I want to be more loving in my heart. I want to be more loving. Often there are good and sufficient reasons for exercising what seems a clean, direct resentment. Again and again, I find it hard to hold in check the sharp retort, the biting comeback, when it seems that someone has done violence to my self, respect, and decent regard. How natural it seems to give as good as I get, to take nothing lying down, to announce to all and in sundry in 1,000 ways that no one can run over me and get away with it. All this is part of the thicket in which my heart gets caught again and again. Deep within me, I want to be more loving in my heart, to glow with a warmth that will take the chill off a room which I share with those whose lives touch mine in the traffic of my goings and comings. I want to be more loving. I want to be more loving in my heart. It is often easy to have the idea in mind, to plan to be more loving, to see it with the mind and give assent to the thought of being loving. This is crystal clear, but I want to be more loving in my heart. I must feel like loving. I must ease the tension in my heart that ejects the sharp barb, the stinging word. I want to be more loving in my heart. That with unconscious awareness and deliberate intent, I shall be a kind, gracious human being. Thus, those who walk the path with me may find it easier to be loving, to be gracious because of the love of God, which is increasingly expressed in my living. I want to be more loving in my heart. So it is.
And now we have our practitioner Sandy.
Good morning, everyone. Ooh, place a hand, one of your hands, both of your hands above on your arms above your elbows, and give yourself a hug this morning. Doesn't that feel good? Everyone, please take a deep breath with me. Let's be right here, right in this present moment. It's a wonderful one. So yes, this spirit is peace and love and community and everything that we heard about in our song and unity. And yes, spirit is ascendancy. Spirit is always optimizing, moving. Spirit is active, and spirit is on our side. Spirit is rooting for us. Spirit is embracing us. And spirit loves velocity. All we have to do is love it in return. And it brings our manifestations, which is another quality of spirit, to us. I'm one with it. I am one with this divine spirit. I am implicit within it, and it is implicit within me. And this very same truth is true for all of you and everyone here. Yes, spirit is all around each one of us and fully within each of us. So I speak my word into spirit's divine law of love. And I know that today is a precious day. It's just full of community and friendship and happiness and the the wonderful experience of being right here with Seat FM, that is spiritual enlightenment and truth focus ministry. We are focused today on all of those things. We are with our families, with our pets, friends, all those that are within our minds and our consciousness. Our love touches all of them, and spirit's love and care is and protection is touching all of them as well. We are so happy to be here, to hear Reverend Larry's wonderful reading, to hear Reverend Jerry's power talk to us. Oh, and yes, it is so powerful. It just reaches out with all those streams of manifesting energy. It's such a beautiful experience. And we see it all come in to our lives and in our world. Yes, to all of our leaders, to all nations, all people everywhere. There's no stopping it. It's always there and coming in even brighter with more love, protection, and abundance for all. Hey, we all enjoy ourselves through this power talk today. We lighten up our lives. And if there's anything that I haven't said, any desire that any of you have, think it now, say it now. For every time you think a thought, you are praying. Yay! What wonderful news that is. I'm thankful for all of this. My heart is clothed in the joyous creative energy of thankfulness. And I release this back to Spirit, who I feel calling it back from me even now. Please, everyone, with enthusiasm and love, say along with me, and so it is.
And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sandy. How wonderful. We brought in a lot of good stuff.
Oh, we're getting some hearts, all of us, for the power.
Yes, we are. We're getting hearts, and we're so grateful for all of those hearts. So for those that are on Facebook, there are some hearts for you also. And we are celebrating in a grand and a wonderful way. I love the fact that you brought in Ernest Holmes just in a subtle way when you asked us to just cross our hands and place it on our shoulders and to hug ourselves. You know, in the mystery schools, this is what they taught people in the mystery schools, according to Ernest Holmes. And they would teach them to say, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me. I'm going to invite you to bring that into your practice on a regular basis, especially with everything happening in the world. It's important for us to remember the power of love and allowing love to anchor us. So we have one more invocation for you, and it is a song invocation. And it's been a while since we've heard from Daniel Naaman. This is a special presentation. Get ready, my soul. I'm going to invite you to hug yourself, to rock yourself if necessary. Place your hands over your heart. And I want you to hear this from the heart space. Take it away, Amber.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready. to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing light so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. As here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my my soul.
Get ready, my soul. So just to deepen us a little bit more, we have one more wonderful blessing. And that blessing is we're working each month, elevating our spirit and sowing seeds of good. And this year, we've asked our practitioners to focus and direct their attention to the 12 powers. So we're in for a special treat today because we have a video presentation from Reverend Larry Hobby on the power of imagination. Take it away, Amber.
Hello, everyone. I'm taking a short break from a track meet to share a few thoughts with you about the power of imagination. I've always loved track and field, and one of the things I've learned from watching great athletes is that they often see the race before they run it. They imagine a successful start, a strong finish, and the outcome they desire. They mentally rehearse their performance long before the race begins. And in many ways, that's what Charles Fillmore's Power of Imagination is about. Imagination is our divine ability to see beyond present circumstances and envision what is possible. It is the faculty that allows us to dream, create, innovate, and participate consciously in the unfolding of our lives. And just as athletes use imagination to strengthen their performance, we can use imagination to strengthen our faith, our relationships, our health, our vision for the future. Imagination helps us see possibilities before they become realities. I've often found inspiration in the music of Stevie Wonder. His song, Higher Ground, reminds me of the power of imagination because imagination enables us to rise above the present circumstances and see new possibilities. It lifts our awareness from limitation to potential, from what is to what can be. In practical daily living, imagination is always at work. When we worry, we're using imagination to picture unwanted outcomes. When we expect good, we are using imagination to envision possibilities that support our highest good. Now, the question is not whether we're using imagination, but how we're using it. And what are you imagining about your health, your relationships, your finances, your future? Are you rehearsing limitations, or are you envisioning possibilities? The power of imagination invites us to become intentional creators. It asks us to hold a vision that is larger than our fears and stronger than our doubts. And when we align imagination with faith, we begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. So today I invite you to imagine the highest possibilities for your life. See yourself expressing joy, wisdom, abundance, health, and love. Feel it as already unfolding. Imagination is the faculty that allows us to see higher ground before our feet arrives there. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Amen. I want to thank you for that wonderful perspective, Reverend Larry. That is wonderful. And I'm going to say hello to everyone again, beloved communities. And I love calling you visionaries in practice because that's who we are. And when we're talking about imagination, imagination is an important factor in this process. Now, as I'm sharing with you today, I'm going to invite you and I'm going to send out a special call to action right away. And that call to action is for us all to dedicate our lives to love and to dedicate these powers, these 12 powers that have been brought forth and flushed out by Howard Thurman wrote, I Want to Be More Loving My Heart, but Charles Fillmore out because these are very important. And the call to action is for you to work and make it a daily commitment and practice to utilize these principles. And the reason I'm saying that is because for this month, we're exploring a higher and a deeper love. And what I'm going to say is love is a spiritual practice. And we can allow love to be present in both our comfortable and the uncomfortable parts of our life. That's what we learned last week. And it is important too for us to be awake and aware in terms of how we are actively showing up as love in the world. The world is in need of love today. That was one of Stevie Wonder's song. So what I want you to remember is that everyone wants to be loved, and yet loving is not always easy. Life gets messy. Relationships get messy. Families get messy. I hope I'm making sense. Communities get messy. These are things that we get to consider. But perhaps that is where love comes to its most and does its most important work. Bell Hook writes, a commitment to a spiritual life necessarily means we embrace the eternal principle that love is all, everything, our true nature. So our true destiny, think about this. It's our true destiny, not success, not achievement, and not perfection. Love. So what if we were made for loving? And what if every lesson in our life is teaching us how to love more deeply? I just want you to consider that. Every lesson and every experience. And what if every relationship is helping us to expand our capacity to love? And what if every challenge is inviting us to discover a love greater than the one we knew before? A love that we knew greater for ourselves, a love that we knew greater in a relationship. Maybe perhaps this is a deeper love calling me in terms of my personal relationship with you. Maybe this is what this is all about. Because something within us always remembers. Something within us already knows. Love is home. Love is our nature. And love is our destiny. The way we interact in the world is shaped by the love we know internally. If we carry compassion within us, we bring compassion into the world. And if we carry judgment within us, we bring judgment into the room. When we carry peace with us, we bring peace into the room. The world often receives the version of love we have cultivated in ourselves. I just want you to pause and be with that for a moment. The world often receives the version of love that we have cultivated in ourselves. And this is why self-love is not selfish. I told you, I'm going to invite you. If you haven't invited somebody, bring them to these words today because it's God speaking. and it's reminding us of the power of love. This is our foundation. And Bell Hook reminds us that self-love is the foundation of our loving practice, because the love we cultivate within ourselves becomes the love we bring to every room. I love that reading, and everything has come together organically. I want to be more loving in my heart, from Howard Thurman. Remembering that what we bring to the table makes a profound difference. So, in this month, we're working with the power of imagination. One of the things Reverend Larry reminded us of is this morning is that imagination has power to elevate us to a higher ground. It also has the power of sucking the energy out of the room. It's all a matter of how we use it. I love the image of higher ground. And the reason I love the image of higher ground is because we're always using that imagination. The question is not whether we are imagining. The question is, are we using it with intention? If we imagine limitation, we will experience limitation. And if we imagine separation, we will experience separation. If we imagine that someone can never change, how many people have said that before? That person will never change. That belief shapes how we meet, how we greet, and how we experience life. I'm thinking about Sam Cooke now. I got songs coming in my head this morning. A change is coming. Okay? So the way we show and how we shape life, it comes from within us. But imagination can also elevate love. That was what Reverend Larry's message was about this morning. Imagination allows us to see possibilities. And I love dwelling in that place, to see healing. That's what I've dedicated my life to, showing up and being a healing presence in the world. And in order to be a healing presence in the world, I get to show up as love, because I know that love, it's an alchemical presence. The alchemy of love can change and transform life. To see healing, to see growth, to see potential. This is what it's all about. And to see what is seeking to emerge before it becomes visible. We're standing at the precipice of new, uncharted territory with infinite possibilities. We get to live in that space of infinite possibilities. And perhaps one of the highest uses of our imagination is asking, how can love show up here? How can love show up here? In this conversation, how can it show up in our challenges? How can love show up in our relationships? And how can love show up in this moment? This moment. Every moment is an opportunity. Every moment is a teachable moment. As we were prepping this morning, I just want to bring in so that we can remember to notice what we're noticing. This morning, we came together. We had a plan of action. And Amber, as she was pulling all the pieces together, we had a couple of snafus. But with those snafus, what we were able to do is because of our spiritual practice and the sacred conversation with spirit. For me, sacred conversation is when we move into prayer. We had practitioner Sandy in the room, and we were praying. And those little kinks that kept showing up, they ironed themselves out. And the reason they ironed themselves out was because we brought love into the room. It's not just enough to know about prayer and the mechanics of prayer. It's the energy of love that you bring to it. When you vision, you got to bring the energy of love. That's a stickler for me. So love is the foundation. And because love without imagination can become limited by appearances, but love and imagination mixed together allows us to see beyond old stories. And that's my goal today. My goal is to support each and every one of us looking at those opportunities to move beyond old stories, moving beyond old wounds, and moving beyond old conclusions into possibilities. That requires a spiritual maturity. It requires that we listen even deeper. It requires that we slow down, and it requires, I remember many years ago being at camp, and we had a thing, they used to say, what would Jesus do? Well, Jesus represented love. That was his commandments were about love. That was his commandment. The first commandment, the second commandment. Okay? So we created this theme, and the theme was, what would love do? So, beloved, this year, our theme is open at the top. And perhaps what we're talking about today is one of the ways we can actually live that principle. Because being open at the top is more than being receptive to new ideas. It's more than just, being positive on the surface. It's going to require us to move deeper. It's going to require us to be willing to grow, to heal, to forgive, and to expand, to become that which we have been called to be. Now, that's a question I've been pondering for more than 26 years. More than 26 years. I remember being on a retreat with one of Dr. Gary Simmons. He's from Unity. I remember when he was in the midst of writing the book, and he's teaching us as ministerial students. Many of you know that series. Who have you come here to be? You may know his wife's work. You may know those cards, the cards, all of those great and wonderful things that came as a result of it. But who have we come here to be? That spirit asking us that question. Love helps us to do great things, and imagination helps us to do great things, because imagination allows us to envision something greater than the stories we continue to tell ourselves, the stories of limitations, the stories of separation, the stories, and I want us to hear this part, of hurt, the stories that keep us stuck. And I'm not negating any hurt or harm. The stories that keep us stuck in the same patterns and the same reaction. And this is the most important part. I want you to pause and be aware of that. Because maybe perhaps we're having the same reaction over and over and over. But maybe perhaps it's time for a paradigm shift, for us to break and shatter that, and to move and elevate ourselves in a higher state. So when we are open at the top, we become willing to imagine new possibilities for healing, new possibilities for relationships, and new possibilities for community, new possibilities for our lives, and perhaps most importantly, new possibilities of love. Love invites us to move beyond stagnation, beyond the old narratives, and beyond repeated stories that no longer serve us. Love invites us into forgiveness, not because The past did not happen. I want us to keep that in mind, because I know for many of us, we've had things that have happened. We've carried the burden of our ancestors, all of us, not because the past did not happen, but because we are no longer willing to allow the past to determine the future. I want us to keep that in mind. We're no longer willing to allow that. We're being called to a deeper love, a higher love. So, beloved, there is a lot happening in our world right now. I want you to keep that in mind. And there are so many reasons to become discouraged. I want you to be intentional. I found out that practitioner Sandy is slowly becoming a sports enthusiast. She told me, she says, the reason I have to do this is I'm so tired of hearing all this craziness in the world. I had to turn my attention in a different direction. So she said, yay, go Knicks. And I think she became a tipping point for them in the world, because she talked about this big combat they had the day before. I didn't even know that. And I'm in the room with the professional sports practitioner. I call Reverend Larry the sports practitioner. And he didn't even get a chance to mention that to me. And I found out, and I was like, oh my goodness. Well, last night we saw them rise and shine. I want you to start tapping into those rise and shine moments. Real and authentic rise and shine. These people, they played their hearts out. Everybody played their hearts out. They were fully present in the moment, and they brought the best of themselves to the game. It was not out of spite. And the thing that I love, Reverend Larry brought in the track meet, he's brought in all of these wonderful things, is I learned so much from these teams, because I learned about sportsmanship. But if we were to transform sportsmanship to love for humanity, it would be very, very powerful. Because in order for these wonderful athletes to be who they are, they've got to show up and be present with humanity. So there are many reasons that we get to be discouraged, and many reasons we have to be fearful, many reasons to be angry, and many reasons to remain wounded. But you know what? Life is about overcoming. And many reasons that we get stuck are because of old stories and old hurts that we rehearse again and again. You know, if you were to look at a vinyl record, we were looking at some of our vinyls. We still have vinyl records, and some of those records, you know how they get scratched and they play over and over and over and over and over again. Sometimes we're in that space there, so we got to smooth out the edges. And yet, the most priceless thing that we always get to remember is that this conversation we're having right now, that is about love, matters. And if we remember to bring the conversation about love into every experience, what we'll begin to do is begin to see the healing that takes place. This is precisely why spiritual practice matters. We don't just do spiritual practice. Oh, it's just something we do. No. It is something that is important. It is the medicine that is necessary for our healing, just like the doctor prescribes these pills. The doctor does the surgery, performs the surgery, just like when the attorney does what the attorney does. We always, whatever it is, the making of a product, the selling of a product, the making resources available. The most important part is bringing love into the equation. And the reason I say that is it does make a difference. It supports us. in showing up and being a powerful force. So, whatever it is you do and however you show up in the world, you remember love is the first part. It's the first part of how we show what we do and how we show up. Because every day we are being invited to make that choice. And when we do that, we will allow fear to dissipate. When we do that, we will allow love to expand. And today, I'm going to invite you to commit to being intentional about lifting yourself up to a higher place. And lifting yourself up to a higher place is not about blaming someone else outside of yourself. It's about you showing up as a beneficial energy, honoring yourself, making better choices for yourself. Also, in that process, make sure you're fully present about what's going on. Honor what's going on. Maybe perhaps there's time to release and let go of some things that no longer serve. Maybe perhaps it's about growing and understanding your understanding about life. When we are more intentional about seeing possibilities where there appears to be limitation, we open up to something greater. When we're intentional about holding a vision of healing, and I want us to consider that the healing of our neighbors. You are my neighbor. If I see you in front of me and you're in my vicinity, you are my neighbor. Where I dwell, yes, everyone around me is my neighbor. My community, we are all each other's community. When we continue to know these things, and when we rise above this, we create a space to alleviate suffering in the world. A large part of my ministry, and early on in my ministry, I'm very clear that the foundational work that I did with youth was the most important thing in my life. I will always honor, I will always respect that, and I'm most grateful for it. And the reason I say that I'm grateful for it is because it taught me a lot of things. You know, when babies are born, they're so easy to love and to be precious with. And when we're charged with the care of them, it is the most important part. But I'll tell you the most important part that I learned from it is care is important because the baby is always alive, whether we are a 1 day old baby or whether we're a baby that is 120 years old. It doesn't matter. And that care is an important part. We must always remember it. And the most important part of the care is love. And so, for those that are carrying burdens right now that no one else can see, I had a conversation with a colleague and we were just having a moment because we know each other's path. We know what it's like to walk in each other's shoes because we walk the path because of our commitment. I'm speaking to you heart to heart now. But when people come and they have those deep burdens they carry, most people don't see it. They don't know. Why does that person act the way they act? I want us to just be still and present right now. And the reason we get to be still and present is we know that love is the answer. And love is the part that can shift that situation. So I want us to be equally intentional, not only with our imagination, but I want you to use that imagination for good, allowing love to relieve the sense of suffering, the sense of separation, the sense of discomfort within yourself, within your family, within the ones you love, and within your own heart. Sometimes we just have to be with our heart, and we have to nurture that heart. Your heart is resilient, and your heart communicates on many different levels. That's the reason I I often utilize heart math, and that's the reason I became certified as a heart math facilitator. because it communicates. It communicates with every organ in your body. Keto talks about the cortisol that comes from stress. But when we can apply the heart in a healthy way and go in, because it is intercommunicative, it will support other organs. It works independently also. So keep the heart healthy. That heart helps the mind and leads the mind. The heart can soothe your emotions. I want you to hear all of those things there because it matters and it is important. Love is not something we give, love is something that we allow. We allow it to show up. It's always been there, it always will be. And perhaps that is why this conversation today is sacred, because we're not simply talking about love, we're talking and we're choosing whether love will have a greater influence in terms of how we live, how we see, how we imagine, and how we show up in the world. The world is beckoning us, and it is in great need right now. And beloved, I believe that what matters most is that we understand that love can support us for all of eternity. It will be the thing that supports us. I think about my grandmother, and she says, she would tell me all the time, I didn't know what she was talking about. I just really want you to be saved. Love is the answer. Towards the end of her life, one of the things I discovered, I thought my grandmother was strange. I did, because I couldn't connect with her completely. And the reason was I didn't understand what she was talking about. Towards the end of her life, that was around about time I was moving into my practitioner studies and all of that. Many of you probably can relate to that. And the thing that I found was that she was nothing more about love and all she wanted, and that's what she was talking about. So perhaps one of the greatest blessings for humanity is people showing up and being there in humanity to support people who feel anger, who feel frustration, who have experiences of disappointments and hurt. Those are the parts of our human experience that we get to learn how to overcome. Sending love before you to prepare the way can be the soother. We may not know the outcome, but if we acknowledge it and allow it to be in the room, it will support us. My concern is that when we are in the throes of our human experience, that we do not linger too long. I remember years ago, I received a beautiful message, a message of compassion, because I was frustrated, I was wounded, I was hurting. And someone sent me a beautiful message, and they sent me a quote from Ernest Holmes about the nature of God, moving us forward always. And it doesn't let us stay and linger some places too long. Unfortunately, we have missed the mark in that area. And I'm going to tell you that word miss the mark is nothing more than sin. Sin is a mistake, and we've made that mistake. But being willing, I hear Kahil Gibran in my heart right now. Being willing to allow love to do what love needs to do to move you forward. Okay? When we begin letting go of the rehearsals of the old wounds, the grievances, the old stories, all of those things there. And when we become more consistent in the shaping of our lives and bringing love and exercising the power of imagination, of seeing something greater unfold, life will change and transform itself for ourselves, for the people around us, and for the world. And eventually, the unhealed places can begin to let go, and compassion can replace things in our hearts. And what we can do is we can live from a place of joy. That is why love is important. I don't want us to think of it just as a sentiment. Love is not a thing of avoidance, because sometimes well, you need to practice love, so we're going to avoid the situation. No, it's not about that. Pretending that everything is okay, it's not about that. But it is a healing force, a transforming force, and a liberating force. That's the deep that Daniel Naaman was calling for. Love helps us to release what no longer serves us. And love helps us to forgive. Love helps us to heal and to move forward. And love helps us to remember who we truly are. So perhaps that is why love must become more than something we feel. It must become something we practice. M. Scott Peck reminds us, love is as love does. Love is a verb, and love requires participation. And love asks us to show up. Love asks us to listen. And love asks us to understand, to forgive, to serve. And love asks us to be active participants in healing. And every day, we're given that opportunity to do exactly that. So perhaps the question is no longer, do I feel love? Perhaps the question is, how am I showing up as love today? I'm going to extend compassion this morning to each one of us. And I invite you to do the same thing. Forgiveness. And I'm also going to invite you to join me right now in creating a world that can work for us all. And that is showing up. Don't be afraid if you make a mistake. Don't be afraid if you accidentally step. Sometimes it feels like a landmine. Just show up and be present in the space of love. Love will heal and love will forgive. Just continue to nurture and be steadfast with that. So I want to move into our call to practice this morning. So I'm going to invite Amber to place that call to practice up on the screen right now. Okay. This week, look at that. That's very pristine. We get an opportunity to see that. We get to remember these words here. And that should be your affirmation. I was made for loving you, even with the most difficult people. If you can just have that in your head when people are giving you a hard time, or maybe you're in the midst of people filled with anger and frustration, just as a mantra, I was made for loving you. I was made for loving you. I was made for loving you. This is that deeper love, okay? I want you to notice this week how you are showing up in the world. I want you to notice that. I want you to take a moment and pause and ask before you respond. Most of the time, we want to give as good as it gets, as Howard Thurman says. And that giving as good as we get, we may find if we just take a pause that the person we're venting our anger out on may not even be the person. They may not, we may have misread the situation. So pause. And the next thing I want you to do is ask this question. What would love do here? What would love What would understanding do here? And what would compassion do here? And what possibilities am I not yet ready to see? Maybe perhaps you're the facilitator for the growth and the understanding and the wisdom. I've found that happening in my life quite often. And I'm going to invite you to allow your imagination to elevate your responses. I'm going to invite you to imagine healing instead of hurt. I want you to imagine connecting instead of separation. I want you to imagine forgiveness instead of resentment. A lot of people hold a lot of resentment and they fester in it and they tell the story over and over and over and over and over. Okay? And I want you to imagine possibilities instead of limitation. Love grows when it is expressed. So I'm going to invite you to be open at the top. I want you to embrace the vision and the vibration. And I wouldn't have used that word, but it was something that populated, and it is to understand the victory, the beauty of spirit growing, winning, and growing in itself. And that is part of how we get to show up and be a transforming presence in the world. I'm going to invite us now to move into our Afro incantation. And as we move into the Afro incantation, I want you to take a moment, place your hands over your heart, breathe, and I want you to recall a moment where you knew truly love. You experienced true love. It may have been a flicker, but just call that to mind right now. And I'm inviting you to breathe. And so we're going to move into the Afro incantation. You can unmute yourself if you're here in this sacred space. For those that are on our social platform, I'm inviting you to do the same thing if it is safe for you. If not, just embody our words. We like to do this in threes. And the reason we like to do it in threes is we remember repetition is the mother of learning. So we're working with our muscle memory. And here we go. Breathe with me. I was made for loving.
I was made for loving.
Love is my nature.
Love is my nature.
Love is my destiny.
Love is
Love
my
is my
destiny.
destiny.
I imagine new possibilities for healing.
I imagine new possibilities for healing.
I choose understanding over judgment.
I
I
choose
choose understanding over judgment.
I choose compassion over fear.
I
I
choose
choose
compassion
compassion over fear.
I am open at the top.
Open at the
I
top.
am
I am
open
open at the top.
I shine and I share as love.
I shine
I
and
I
shine
shine
and I
and I
love.
share as love.
I am a beneficial presence in the world.
I'm
I
a
I
am a
beneficial
am a
presence in the
beneficial
world.
presence in the world.
Amen.
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 Ashe.
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 And so it is.
So it is.
And so it is.
Let's do this again. I was made for loving.
I
I
was
I
was
was
made
made
for
loving.
for
loving.
loving.
Love is my nature.
Love's my
Love is
nature.
my
Love is my
nature.
nature.
Love is my destiny.
Love is my destiny.
Love is my
Love is my
destiny.
destiny.
I imagine new possibilities for healing.
I
I
imagine new
imagine new
possibilities
possibilities
for
for
healing.
healing.
I choose understanding over judgment.
I
I
I
choose
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 understanding over
understanding over
judgment.
judgment.
I choose compassion over fear.
I
I
choose
I
choose
choose
compassion.
compassion
compassion
over
over
fear.
fear.
I am open at the top.
I'm open.
I
I
am
am
I
open
am
at the
open at the
top.
top.
I shine and share as love.
I
shine
and
and share as
share as
love.
love.
I am a beneficial presence in the world.
I am a
I am a
beneficial presence
beneficial
in the
presence in the
world.
world.
Amen.
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 Ashe.
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 And so it is.
And so it is.
And
And
so it
so it
Let's
is.
do
is.
this one more time. I was made for love.
I was made
I
for
was
love.
I was
made
I
for
was
made for
love.
made for
loving.
love.
Love is my nature.
Love is my
Love
Love
nature.
is
is my
my
Love is my
nature.
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 Love is my destiny.
Love is my
Love
Love
is
destiny.
is
Love
my
my
is my
destiny.
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 Imagine new possibilities for healing.
Imagine new
I
I
imagine
imagine new
Imagine
new
for healing.
possibilities
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 for
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 healing.
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 I choose understanding over judgment.
I
I
I
choose
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 understanding over
understanding
understanding over
over
judgment.
I
judgment.
judgment.
choose compassion over fear.
I choose
I
I
I
choose
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 compassion over
compassion
fear.
compassion
compassion
over
over
over fear.
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 I am open at the top.
I'm open
I
I
at
I
the
am
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 top.
open
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 at
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 the
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 top.
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 I shine and share as love.
I
I
shine
I
I
and
shine
shine
share
shine
and
as
and
and
share
share
love.
as
as
love.
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 I am a beneficial presence in the world.
I am a
I
I
beneficial
am
am
a
a
presence in the
beneficial
beneficial
world.
presence
presence
in
in
the
the
Amen.
world.
world.
Amen.
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 Ashe.
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 And so it is.
And
And so it
So
so
it
it is.
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 I invite you to just breathe those words in right now. And as we're breathing these words in right now, we simply remember, I want you to, there's a song. It says, please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. Today, I'm going to invite you to take a moment as we move into our next song, Love Covered Me by Gary Lynn Floyd. As we're listening, I'm going to invite you to take a moment and to place in the chat those things that are important for you, for me to include in our prayer today. And as you post those in the chat, I'm going to invite you to return back to your space. And as you're in your space, if you feel a need, take yourself and just soothe, just love yourself. I'm going to invite you to rock yourself and nurture yourself, just like Grandma used to do with us. And Grandma would tell us it's all going to be okay. I want you to allow for that loving energy to be your comfort. And then we're going to move into prayer. Take it away, Amber. Let's start with.
As time's unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. And with every thought I make, every last breath I take, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony, play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and let my anthem be. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, 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 love. Sing that with me. Love, 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 love. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, and guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me.
Love, cover me. I'm going to invite you right now to just anchor in this space of love, allowing love to just cover you. It's always been there, and it always will be. The most important part is our recognition. I think it was Howard Thurman. He says there's something in all of us that waits for the genuine to show up. For me, the genuine is love. And that genuine is right here in this very room. It is expressing itself, it is fulfilling itself, and it is revealing itself. You are the very embodiment of love. And many of us move into a place of forgetfulness. Many of us experience fragmentation. Today, I'm inviting you to turn away from that. I'm remembering Ernest Holmes. He tells us that we are inlets and we are outlets of God. I'm inviting you to breathe right now and remember that you are that inlet and outlet. And I'm inviting you to allow for that wonderful presence to fulfill itself and express itself right now. So breathe. And as you're breathing, I want you to follow the breath. And as you're following the breath, I'm inviting you to acknowledge it as the power of love. Acknowledge God fulfilled and God revealed, God expressing, knowing that God is perfect love, perfect peace, perfect harmony, that it is kindness and compassion, that God is the spirit of the divine, moving, expressing, and revealing itself right here and right now. And that each and every one of us are all one with this power. I'm acknowledging it right now as the very healing presence of who I am and what I am. I'm acknowledging this divine presence as the source of good and compassion. I'm acknowledging that the divine presence that has already moved into places I, in my human experience, are unable to go. I'm acknowledging only love. And as I acknowledge love right now, I acknowledge that presence and know that this presence is alive everywhere. I know it to be the source right now, right where Catherine Redmond is. I acknowledge it right where Dr. Liza is. I'm acknowledging this divine presence in Reverend Dr. Renee. And as I acknowledge this divine presence there, I know that that same presence is alive within Amber and her entire family. I know that love is a healing power. I'm acknowledging it everywhere in all the treatment centers all over the world. I'm acknowledging it within everyone that is going and receiving a treatment of any sort. Those that are experiencing dialysis, chemical dependency. Oh, yes. I'm just acknowledging love. Love as the healing factor. Love as the blessing. Love is the therapy. Love is the energy within the pills that are necessary for our healing. I acknowledge love in the surgeries. I acknowledge love right now within all the cases all around the world. I acknowledge love and know that love is the divine presence right now, moving, and it is the healing factor within all negotiations for businesses everywhere. World business, world economy, within our world leaders. I'm acknowledging that divine presence as a sacred movement right here and right now. And I know that it is the surge. It is the beauty of the great I am. And that surge is the beauty of God in action. And I acknowledge this divine God, light, as wisdom. I acknowledge it as perfect vision. I'm bringing in right here, right now, practitioner Sandy. All of the work, God fulfilling itself as love in action on all levels, blessing her beyond that which you cannot even imagine. And I know that the perfect vision of the infinite fulfills itself within her and through her. I'm giving thanks for that divine presence, and I acknowledge it right now as overflowing, as expressing itself as source energy. That source energy, love as the protection, fulfilling itself and blessing every child everywhere, supporting people in the advancement of their careers, as abundant financial stability, the divine presence that uplifts us, that is unconditional in all situations, tried, true, and proven. I'm acknowledging it is the divine essence of faithful energy, a divine resilient energy, moving and expressing itself within all of humanity for people everywhere. I'm acknowledging that loving presence centered and poised right here within all new thought communities, all centers everywhere. I'm acknowledging this divine presence within every sacred space in the world, every institution in the world. And I'm knowing that the commonality is love expanded. And in particular, right here, right now, I acknowledge love amplified. Amplified right where I am, amplified within this spiritual community, spiritual enlightenment and truth focused ministry. And what I'm knowing is that there is a peace that passeth all understanding, that it has ignited itself, and that the gift of the divine is expressing itself beyond that which we cannot even imagine. I know that this gift of spirit fulfills itself as life, life giving, life revealed, and life overflowing. I give thanks because I know that something powerful has ignited itself. It is the gift of humanity. It is the gift of good. It is the gift of the grand awakening. And in this grand awakening, right here, right now, I know that blessings overflow. I know that love has filled the air, that love is in the soil, that love is in the water, that love is in the very air we breathe. It is in all elements. It is in the trees. It is the oxygenation. It is that divine vision of good, of grace, of harmony. And it is the soothing presence that I acknowledge. I know that it has touched the world and touched all of humanity. And I'm in this space right here with deep, abiding gratitude. Grateful for God revealing itself. I'm grateful for this infinite energy, and I am grateful for I know that something powerful has set something new in motion. It is the divine operation of love, love unfolding, and love as great. So I take this time now to release these words right now into the action of what we call universal law. And together, I invite us all to unmute ourselves and affirm together. And so it is.
So it is.
And so it is.
It is.
Now it is.
And now it is.
Amen.
Ashe.
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 I want to look into your eyes, and I want you to know how much you are loved, how much you are appreciated. Let love be your guiding source this week. The world may heat up, the temperaments may take place, but I want you to know your discipline with love can shift and change the world. And let's do this together and make a difference. I'm going to turn this over to Amber. We can hear our coffee and tea announcements. And I'm going to invite you, if you know someone, Reverend Larry, we're going to give out the first award this year for the Larry Love Award. You know someone that would benefit as a result of that, please let us know. Amber's placing that in the nomination form in the chat now. Take it away, Amber. You're in control.
Hello, everyone. I'm Reverend Larry Hobby, practitioner emeritus here at CDFM, and it's coffee and tea time. I hope you grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and spend a few moments with me as we take a look at what's coming up in our community. As we step into the month of June, I want to personally invite you to join us for a beautiful new series, Higher, Deeper Love. Now, this month, we'll be exploring the spiritual power of imagination and discovering how love and imagination work together to open new possibilities in our lives. What if love is larger than we have imagined? What if healing, understanding, forgiveness, and compassion are closer than we think? And throughout the month, we'll be inviting one another to explore these questions and deepen our relationship with ourselves, each other, and the divine. I hope you'll join us each Sunday as we journey together into a higher, deeper love. Then join me on Wednesday evening for Expanding Consciousness. We're currently exploring the book, You Are the Prayer That You Pray. Together, we're discovering practical tools that support grounding, healing, and moving forward in healthy and meaningful ways through the power of prayer. There is powerful information in the study that reminds us that prayer is more than something we do, it is something we become. Join practitioner Sandy for our monthly prayer clinic on Saturday, June 13th. This practical and inspiring gathering provides spiritual tools, support, and prayer practices that can strengthen your connection with Spirit and deepen your prayer life. And I would like to extend a special invitation for Father's Day weekend. On the third Sunday of June, I'll have the privilege of sharing the Sunday message as we celebrate fathers, grandfathers, mentors, spiritual fathers, and all those who have helped guide, support, and encourage us along life's journey. Whether you're a father, have been blessed by a father figure, or simply want to celebrate the gifts of wisdom, presence, and love, I hope you'll join us for this special service. I look forward to sharing that morning with you. And now I have a special message to share with you from Unica Lester on behalf of Larry's birthday planning team.
Hello, everyone. I am honored to share an exciting announcement on behalf of Larry's birthday planning team. Nominations are now open for Larry Love Expanding Conscious Award. The special award was created to honor individuals whose lives and work reflect the spirit of the science of mind, new thought, and the transformational teachings that Reverend Larry has shared throughout his years of service. We are seeking nominations for spiritual teachers, authors, writers, musicians, storytellers, and community leaders whose work inspires others, expands consciousness, and brings greater love, wisdom, and understanding into the world. Do you know someone whose work helps others grow, heal, awaken, and live more fully? If so, we invite you to submit a nomination. Nominations will remain open through June 30th, and the recipient will be selected by our review committee. The award will be presented during a special celebration honoring Reverend Larry Hobby, RSCP Emeritus, on Sunday, July 19th, as we celebrate his 82nd birthday and his many years of service, music, prayer, teachings, and spiritual leadership. Please save the date. More details will be shared in the coming weeks. On behalf of Larry's birthday planning team, thank you for helping us recognize and celebrate those who continue to share these teachings and uplift our world. We look forward to celebrating with you on July 19th.
Thank you, Unica. I'm really looking forward to this celebration. 82 years is quite a journey, and I'm grateful for every person, every lesson, every prayer, and every opportunity to grow along the way. I'm especially excited about recognizing someone through the Larry Love Expanding Consciousness Award, so please take a moment to think about who you might nominate. And most importantly, I hope you save the date and join us on July 19th. I look forward to celebrating with all of you. Before we close, we simply want to say thank you. Thank you for your joyful giving, tithes, and gifts. Because of your generosity, lives are being touched through our virtual ministry and beyond. Your support helps us sustain our technology, create new resources, and offer many of our programs on a love offering basis, making them accessible to all. You'll find several ways to give here on the screen. Zelle to our Joyful Giving Fund, text to give, support our technology fund, or use our QR code and link tree. Please save the date for our upcoming Double Good fundraiser, July 16th through July 20th, in honor of Reverend Larry's 82nd birthday. We invite you, in lieu of gifts, to consider a special contribution above your regular giving. This year's fundraiser will help us update and enhance our Prayer for Heart app as we celebrate 10 years of ministry and service through Seed FM. No gift is too small, and every gift is received with gratitude. As we prosper, we create opportunities for others to prosper as well. We are deeply grateful, and your generosity will help us go a long way. Now, as we prepare for our prosperity mantra, I invite you to be intentional. If you have your tithe, gift, or offering with you, hold it in your hands. If you have already given, and simply hold a vision of your financial good and prosperity. Together, let's affirm the abundance that is already unfolding in our lives. And now, Let us share our prosperity mantra together. And now let's move into our prosperity mantra. Please repeat after me. I visualize the financial good I expect. I see it coming to me now, richly and abundantly. I claim and accept it for myself now. I am grateful, and so it is. Amen, Amin, Ashe. And let's do it for a second time. I visualize the financial good I expect. I see it coming to me now, richly and abundantly. I claim and accept it for myself now. I am grateful, and so it is. Amen, Amin, Ashe. Let's do it for a third time. I visualize the financial good I expect. I see it coming to me now, richly and abundantly. I claim and accept it for myself now. I am grateful, and so it is. Amen, Amin, Ashe. You are the prayer that you pray. Blessings, everyone.
Wow. That is wonderful. I want to, Amber has placed in the chat the form. I just looked. We're looking for nominations. I think we have one nomination. If you have someone on your heart, please make sure you submit that nomination to our team. And I'm going to invite you to go to our website. We're going to be doing some things over the next few months in getting ready for our 10th anniversary. But there is something on that homepage I think you will really appreciate. There's a special song on abundance and prosperity. It's a gift to you. So I'm going to encourage you to go to our website, the homepage. I don't know whether Amber can drop it in the chat or not, but I encourage you. I think you will appreciate that. There was a special song on abundance. And with that in mind, I think it's time for us to bring everything to a close. Let's play some Eddie Watkins, Get Up and Dance, Nurture Yourself, and please continue to be a peaceful, beneficial presence in the world. Take it away, Amber.
Let peace begin with you and I. Every man, boy, and girl, woman across the world. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth. The peace that was meant to be with God as our Father, family all are we. Let us focus our families in perfect harmony. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on is a simple hum along I want you to do with me. And say, ooh, ooh, la 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 la. Ooh, ooh. It's just a simple melody. Feels so good to sing it. Everybody sing. You sound so good. All right. Whenever dark clouds are hovering over and the sun is nowhere in sight, and when it seems like the world is falling to pieces, let me be the one who sheds the light. When this whole world seems mean and cold with no love or humanity, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Thank you.
Let peace begin with me. I'm inviting you to have the best week ever. Come hang out with us. Remember, there is value in spiritual practice. Goodbye. Social media, share this and like it and share it with a friend. We'll see you next week. Reverend Larry's going to knock your socks off.